Glory, glory, Man United. Glory, glory, Man United. Glory, glory, Man United. As the Reds go marching on. Come on. Let's have it, boys. Let's go. Big win. Big win. Very proud. Very proud of the team today. Welcome to the Red Devil Experience. Manchester Atletico Bilbao 0, Manchester United 3. Wasn't really the game I think a lot of us were expecting. Went really our way, but excellent result. I don't think you could have dreamt up a better result for us today. Good display from the team. Very positive. Very happy. We have a lot to get into. We're going to break it down. We're going to get into the player performances, the team performances. We're going to do live player ratings, and we're going to get to the community in the chat, and let's see the feeling from the rest of the Reds here. But before we do, please smash the like button because it's very important to the channel and it helps the channel very much. It helps us get pushed out there, so please smash that like button. If you're new and you enjoy the content, we welcome you to our family. Subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell icon so you stay up to date with the lives. We're live after every match. We are live weekly doing the news as well. We will be live during the summer transfer window as well. But enough of that. Let's get to the match. I mean, I don't think anybody really predicted this. If there was somebody out there that did predict this, kudos to you. But I don't think this was going to go the way it was going to go. But this is why you got to have belief. This is why you got to have belief. This is why you got to stay positive, especially in the dark times. Because you just never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get. And today, I don't know. It just feels like finally, like something went our way, and it was just good. It was just positive. You know, in the beginning of the match, I felt like here we go again. Garnacho scored, the goal gets chalked off for offside, and my head started doing this thing, and I go, that was the goal, that was what we needed. It got it taken away from us, and I was like, now the same sort of shit story is gonna happen, where we're gonna probably concede a goal after we put the ball into the back of the net, and it didn't. It didn't happen. And you know what? Listen, before the red card, and I can say this fairly and clearly, before the red card, we were a little bit sloppy, but Bilbao didn't look anything special. They didn't look scintillating. We were actually looking pretty good as well in certain other aspects. The midfield was a little bit sloppy. Lindelof was a little bit off. Dorga was a little bit off at times. And Ugarte was a little bit off. There was a little bit of sloppiness going on there with the passing. But, I mean, they didn't look... They were also sloppy. They didn't really look scintillated. I wasn't really afraid of them. So, there was a lot of fear-mongering before the match, especially from outside sources and not United fans. Because I get United fans because we're fans and, some of us... haven't liked what we've been seeing from the team, so maybe we weren't as confident as ourselves. But there was a lot of fear-mongering going on, making Bilbao the favorites, making it seem like that they were going to absolutely smack us up 3-0. And the opposite has happened. And it was a rightful red card. There was another penalty shout out there that they didn't give to us, where Garnacho got clipped inside the box, and I think we should have got another penalty. I don't know why they took 10 minutes to review the penalty for VAR. That was absolutely ridiculous. It was a clear pen all day, every day. I needed one replay to figure it out, just to make sure. But I didn't even really need the replay because I saw the holding. But great goals by the team. Great goals. Good goal. Casemiro. Uncle Casemiro. Uncle Cass. We got to give Uncle Cass a lot of credit today. He absolutely bossed the game, the midfield. His experience showed, the mentality, the leadership of a seasoned, experienced player that has won many things. He was a complete player today. I don't think he put a foot wrong in today's match. And while he might have possibly maybe have a little bit less legs, and it's maybe a little bit less for the Prem. In these matches in the Europa, he has been he has been beautiful. He has been beautiful. He has been a big help, and he's really been very key to that midfield. I'm glad Ruben did kind of what I asked Ruben to do. He did it a little bit differently than I said, but I'm glad that he took Shaw out of that center back spot. He went with Lindelof, even though Lindelof was a little bit shaky, right? But I think it worked well. I think it worked well what he did. I'm happy that he put Cass and Ugarte in there. You know, even though I think Ugarte didn't have the best of matches, but I'm glad that he did that. I think that midfield together is stronger. And we did well. We did well. And listen, after the red card happened, and we went up 3-0, my goal for the team became close out the game. I wanted them to get a fourth. I did. I felt like, you know, maybe they could have done a little bit more and they could have pushed a little bit more. They didn't go complete defense and shut down. There was a couple opportunities there. We couldn't convert. But my goal for United, after we got 3 and we were up a man, my goal was close out the game in a composed style, don't make stupid mistakes, and don't concede a goal. Don't concede a goal. You know, we're away from home. We got a little bit of, I don't want to call it luck because it was a rightful red card, but we got ourselves in a very positive position in the game where we're winning. They're down a man. We're away from home. You couldn't ask for a better scenario than that in a knockout match. You really couldn't. And I wanted to see the team just get over the line. Get over the line. Cross over the line. Get to the other side. Don't make a stupid mistake. Don't give away a goal. There was no reason for it. We were in complete control of the game. Up a man. And again, I don't think Bilbao, in any sense, maybe they got deflated a little bit, you know, after the red card and stuff. And the referee. But I you know, before they got the red, I didn't even think they weren't looking that great. They were sloppy as well. And I felt like, you know what? We had a good chance in the beginning. We had a good chance. But let me get to the chat, because I have more chances to ramble on after. Rajat says, when did Maldini come to United? Well, Casemiro, great goal. I didn't even say Maguire. Lamine Maguire. Absolutely just going on the wing, crossing people up. You know, putting in one of the best crosses I've seen one of our players, and that could go both ways. But why does it take our center back to put in the cross that I've been waiting for like 3.5 seasons, and none of our players put it in? It takes our center back, Lamine Maguire, to put in a perfect, beautiful cross. Ugarte did well, I believe it was Ugarte, to get ahead on it, and Casemiro did even better to follow it and get ahead on it and put it into the back of the net. And then Bruno, ice cold Bruno, scoring the pen, Mr. Reliable. That's why they call him Penendez. And I think you should take that with a compliment, because he's very good at penalties. And I never doubted, not once in my mind, that he wouldn't convert it, because he always puts him away. He had ice in his veins when it comes to penalties. And the second goal he scored was a very good goal as well. And it was a good flick on by Ugarte as well. But good take. So yeah, I mean, come on. KFC team got touched 3-0, says shot. Yeah, I did a little rendition of Glory. If you missed it, you can watch it back. Axe says we dominated them. We were the ones. I mean, listen, we did. And obviously, you know, I'm not taking any negativity. Obviously, we had the man up, but we did the job that we were supposed to do today. We did the job. We did what we were supposed to do. We executed it properly. We followed it through. And it's a big result for United. Big result for the lads. Big result for Ruben Amorim. We needed this. Again, I've been saying this. I believe that we can win this competition. Tottenham winning tonight as well. I always said I think Tottenham was the biggest problem that we're going to run into in this competition, because they are a Premier League team. I think all the other teams in the competition, I think we can beat them. I think we can beat them. I think we can get past them. This has been Ruben's competition since he's come here. I know it hasn't gone well in the Prem. I hope for next season he figures it out. I hope he gets some reinforcements in you know, in the summer, and we can sort of transform the team a little bit better for the Prem. But since Ruben has come here, Europa League has been his competition. It has been good to him. It has been kind to him. And it has been good to United, and has been kind to United since he's taken it over. And I think it's our competition, and I think it's Ruben's competition. And I really do believe we can go and win it, and we need to win it. And I think the lads understand it. I think the players understand it too. They go out there, you could sort of feel a mentality shift. I understand, you know, there's no excuses. You have to go and win these Premier League games, even though they don't necessarily mean anything. They mean, it just, it has a meaning of just respect for the shirt and stuff. I get it, but there's a little bit more emphasis. There's a little bit more meaning behind these games, and these players, you can tell there's just this extra level when they're in this European competition. There's this extra focus that gets switched on inside of them. They turn on a little bit extra in it. They get it. They understand the magnitude of what this means for the club to win this Europa League. They understand what it means for next season and how important it is. And the extra focus and the extra execution is there as well in these matches. So Lyle is here as well. RSV is here as well. How you guys feeling? How's everybody doing? Rajat says, mean it isn't a top tier competition, but still happy. Listen, there's no time. Listen, we've had all season to be negative. We've had all season to be negative. We don't got to do that to ourselves today. We don't have to do that to ourselves today. Let's just be positive. Let's take the win. Let's take the 3-0 away from home. Nobody, not even me, who I said that I think we can beat them and advance them, was thinking that we were going to get a 3-0 and the game was going to go down the way it was going to go down. I thought it was going to be, you know, obviously a tougher match. I still thought that we can go and do it. Many people out there, including some of our own fans, I'm not throwing it back in their face, I'm just stating the facts, thought that we were going to lose by a good amount, 2-0, 3-0. They were worried of that. They were afraid of that. I said the day before, that, you know, we would do very well if we can get a draw, or if we even lose the match by 1 goal, and bring it back to Old Trafford. That would give us an excellent chance to get the 3-0 away from home. Absolutely just fantastic. There's really no other words for it. There really isn't. So Lyle says, when I saw that, my head went to Mags is leading it. Rajat says, wow, didn't go there to bus park and keep defending. Mags out tonight playing like Luis Figo. I mean the cross was, the footwork from Maguire was unbelievable. I was getting scared. I was shouting, telling him to pass it back, because I thought he did well to hold it and did well to not lose it in the initial thing. And he then was like, you know what? He goes, nah, I'm going to have a go. I'm feeling myself. And he went back at the defender, crossed him up, and put it in a beautiful cross. And I was screaming at the TV, telling him to pass it back, because I thought he was going to lose it. And we scored from it. So, do you have an old kit, 22, 23? I have this kit. This is from last year, is it not? I got my kid on the back. My son Mano is on the back. My son, that's my son. I gotta support my son. Almost says, I am happy that the team scored against Tottenham. They did. I think they will bottle it the second leg. I hope to God they do. I don't want to play them in the final. I've got a bad feeling about it. Well, I've been saying they have been my biggest worry, because they are a Premier League team. You know, we've had a bad season. They've had a bad season. You could say we're pretty much maybe on level terms in that sense, but at the same time, they've beaten us 3 times this season. So also, you know, it's maybe tilted a little bit in their favor in terms of that they've been able to beat us 3 times. I think, you know, maybe they bottle it. I don't know. You know, they're still up by 2. They got to go away from home now, and they got to go, you know, and hold out Bodo Glimt. I wouldn't count Bodo Glimt out. They are sort of a team that has a lot of resilience. And they've put in some good performances to get to the semifinal. And I think they've had 1 or 2 maybe people would consider upsets. So, I mean, let's see what happens. Our job now is to play at Old Trafford and do a little bit more of like what we did today. Control the match, dominate. Don't sit back too much. Don't invite a lot of pressure. We should be comfortable. We should be able to take some risks. We don't have to go crazy. We don't have to, we don't have to be super risky. But we don't have to sit back either and just kind of do nothing. I think we are in a very positive position. So, Democrat says, I wanted to come in and congratulate you on your soccer team, United Football, of Manchester United winning the game. I had my good friends Joel and Sir Jim in direct to the White House. This guy is a character. I like it. Well, thank you anyway. I appreciate that. Axe Lord says, Casemiro was the man, the leader, the cerebral assassin, the ultimate dom. Ray... Hold on, the chat skipped on me. I gotta go back. Ray says, hey, Reds, one thing I have to say, when we play forward, good things happen. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think obviously, I think Ruben, his style and system and how he wants United to play, it's supposed to go forward. It's possession based to a certain extent. But certainly what he had at Sporting was very attacking, which is why they scored a lot of goals. They were leading Europe in the top 5 leagues in goals scored in game ratios. So I think that's his plan for United. But again, baby steps we're taking. We gotta get there. We gotta walk ourselves there a little bit. I think it'll come with a little bit of time, a little bit more on the training pitch and understanding, but also with some personnel that can change a little bit of the dynamics. And I think we will get there. But it's just going to take some time. And I think sometimes we have opportunities to do it, and other times I don't think we have the best of opportunities, and we struggle to do it. So, again, we're work in progress. It's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be good. So sometimes it's going to be bad. Sometimes it's going to be very bad. But, tonight was very good. Very good. So that Onana save turned out to be massive. Yeah, Onana, obviously, he didn't have a lot to do except for in the beginning, and he made a big save in the beginning, and that was good. And I'm glad. I'm glad that it was a quiet night for Onana. I sort of hate when the narrative shifts to one person. I'm glad that it was a quiet night for him. I'm glad that it wasn't, there wasn't anything to really talk. I forgot that he was playing for half the game. You know what I mean? I forgot that he was even really on the pitch. His name wasn't even really mentioned. So, that's good as well. So, Justice, who's Democrat, I don't know, but he's here. Almost says they looked the better team at the start of the game. Slightly, but I would expect that anyway, because listen, they're the home team. I'm not discrediting them in any way. I'm not saying that they're, that Atletico was rubbish in any way. But, some people were talking about them like they were prime Barcelona, were going to come and smack us up. I mean, I get it. Like, I've always felt like it was going to be a competitive match and a good match. But I just never really felt like we were going to lose 3-0. I felt like, maybe if we do lose, maybe it'll be 2, maybe it'll be 2-1. But I felt like we could, I just feel like this is our competition. It's been very kind to us. It's been very good for us and Ruben. And I just think that sort of positivity has carried over into the squad and into these matches. So, I kind of expected them to be sort of the better team, when they're home and we're playing away. It tends to happen a lot, but obviously the match shifted in our favor because we actually were doing some good things in attack. And they weren't so strong defensively, Bilbao. And they made a big mistake, their defender, of course, and got a rightful red card, as he deserved. And then the scales just continued to tip into our favor. So, why do you look like you are a hotel kind of? Wait, what? At a hotel? I'm not at a hotel. I'm in a box. Hotel lobby. This is where the United Dreams come to live. This is the hotel lobby of your United Dreams. Democrat said I had Sleepy Joe over watching the game with me. I told me I had lost him, but when Bruno Rooney scored those goals, he shouted touchdown. I don't know what's going on with Democrat, but I'm entertained. I'm entertained. The best thing about tonight, says Lions, was Mags, Ugarte, and Casemiro linking up. All who should be sold. All you naysayers, sit down and be quiet. I'll be a little bit more polite than he said. Obviously, feeling very emotional about that. Listen, again, I don't think Ugarte had overall. I don't think he had really a good game. Him coming off. I identified that I would be saying, I was kind of feeling like I would have taken him off as well. I don't think he had the best of games. Certainly out of the rest of the team. I think Maz had a very good game. I think Maguire had a good game. I think Lenny had a good game. I think Cas had a good game. I think Bruno had a good game. I think even Rasmus did decently good tonight. For what he had to do in terms of his job as a goal scoring threat. No. But all the other aspects, holding the ball up, linking up some play, battling it out with the defenders of Bilbao, trying to be strong, trying to hold up the play. He had some good touches, some good passes, unselfish. So all that stuff. I think he did good in that. I think Garnacho had a good game as well. It was good to see Diallo back out on the pitch. It was good to see Mateus de Ligt back out on the pitch as well. Mount getting some good minutes, Luke Shaw getting some good minutes as well. So yeah, I mean, a lot of positives today. We're gonna do live player ratings soon, but let me just get through the chat. Axe says, you see everyone, I cannot trash talk on Marine now. He did it tonight. He was the head coach. The team displays the right attitude first and foremost, and their playing style was implemented. Yes. But again, also, when I criticize the players, but the players have to get credit too, because they executed on the pitch, and they make decisions on the ball as well. They're out there on the pitch. There was one or two times where they still sort of make the wrong decision. There was one when Lenny had the ball. Garnacho was open on the left-hand side. He decides not to give it to Lenny. It's a simple pass. I mean, he decides not to give it to Garnacho. It's a simple pass. You give it to him to open up some space. He doesn't give it to him. He looks inside. And he forces the ball inside and makes a more difficult pass. We end up losing the ball. And that's, I'm not picking on Lenny. It's just an example. There was another one where somebody on the right-hand side just, I think it was Dorgu, or I don't even know. They just kicked the ball away and gave it away when they didn't need to. So there's still these little problems and issues. The decision making needs to be a little bit better, and they gotta fix that stuff. But they deserve credit as well, because they were on the pitch, they played the game. The manager is there, he manages, and I think he managed well tonight, and he did well with the starting selection and the game plan and the tactics. But the players also followed and executed it properly. So they get credit for today as well. Almost said I said we would lose or draw. I didn't expect that. Very good. Well, yeah, I mean, I said, listen, there was always a possibility that we could lose, but last stream, the day before, I did say that, I would even say that if we go out there and we're competitive and we do well enough to, if we draw and bring it back to Old Trafford, I would take that. And, even if we went down 1-0 and we lost the match by 1 goal and we bring it back to Old Trafford, I said I think that would be very good, because, again, you're the away side. It's very difficult to go and outperform a team in a semifinal at their home. It's very difficult, especially for us, where we've been a little bit, you don't know what you're going to get from us. Sometimes we're decent, sometimes we're good, sometimes we're bad, and sometimes we're horrible. So it's a bit hard to gauge until the match starts and you start to see it unfold. But once I started seeing the match unfold, I was like, well, they don't look as scary as some people were saying, and we look a little bit sloppy, but I was like, we don't look that bad either. I was like, I feel like we can get something out of this match very early on, and then it all went it all went this season. No, oh yeah, this season. I don't know what season. I just had to get one with my son on the back of it, you know. But I do like this kit actually. It is quite nice. Um, it is quite nice. Maguire equals AIG Ronaldo. Um, Ray said I had Johnny Double Black watching the game with me. Well, maybe he gave you a little bit of luck there. Johnny Double Black coming in. Can play that Ugandan maybe? No, we're not doing that. I know what you're talking about though. It's a funny clip. How come no one talks on the Discord chat that much? What do you mean? We have conversations in there all the time. I don't know what you're looking at. There's all sorts of things going on in there, updates and stuff like that. I mean, listen, Rajat, you can start the conversation. You know, you can get involved in there too. You can start the conversation. You can start saying some things in there if nobody's talking and you want a conversation going. You can start saying some things in there. Axe says, hopefully they don't bottle this at Old Trafford. See, I don't even feel like they're gonna do that though. And we also do a great game on San Mames. Nah, see, that thought doesn't even go to my head. That thought doesn't even go to my head right now. Come on. I mean, to bottle 3-0 at Old Trafford and lose by 4 goals. No, it's not even a thought that I have. It's you know, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it just should not happen. I don't care how bad our season has been in the Prem. Again, Europa has been very kind to us, and it's been very good, and Ruben has done well in it. And I've been very confident about this competition, and I don't think that's going to happen. I expect these lads to go out there. You know, will it be? Can it become a little bit more nervy or cagey than we hope? It can, but I still don't. I still wouldn't expect them to blow it. No way at Old Trafford. No way. No way. No way. You know, they can't do it. It's something that they cannot do. They cannot do. Almost as I can't lie. I don't want to play Tottenham. Well, listen, you know, for me, it is what it is. If we got to play Tottenham, listen, if we're going to win this thing, then we're going to win this thing. You know, it doesn't matter if we're playing Tottenham, Bodo Glimt, Barca, whoever. You know, it doesn't matter. If we're gonna win this thing, we're gonna win this thing. You know, it doesn't matter who we end up playing. If we're gonna do it, then we're gonna do it. And you know what? You know, this is the second round where we've had to play the away match first. Which can be an advantage, but also can be a disadvantage because, you know, if you go into the first match and you get obliterated, it's quite over for you. So I think we've actually had the tougher the tougher way as well. Like Tottenham today, they're home, they're a little bit more comfortable. You know, they did well. They got 3 goals. They gave up 1, made it a little bit different because now it's a 2-goal. And at 2 goals, you know, things could go wrong because Bodo Glimt scores at home. It's game on, and the feeling can change very, very quickly for them. But if we're gonna win, if we're gonna do this thing, then we're gonna do it. So if we do, we do. There's nothing I can do about it. As Almo followed up his comment, which I like, but I'd rather avoid it. Listen, sometimes I like the big challenges. I want the team to be tested. I want the big challenges. I want the big things. I don't. You know, United's path is never the easy route. We've never done it easy in the history of our club. You know, whether it was winning the treble or anything else, we've never done it in the easy way. Never. It's always been the hardest possible way. Even our treble compared to City's treble, the teams that we faced, the competition that we played, the games that we played, and the manners in which we had to sometimes. You know, we were outclassed on the pitch and we found a way to get over against really fantastic teams. Was totally, you know, City had an easy route to their treble. It's totally different. And it's much more rewarding when we do it our way, the way we've done it in the past. So, Lyle says next week we need to treat the tie as 0-0 and go hard again. And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We do. We can't go out there. That's the one thing. We can't go out there and be complacent. And we can't just because they're gonna come there, they're gonna feel hard done by Bilbao. They're gonna feel hard done by today. They're gonna feel hard done by the red card and stuff like that. They're gonna feel hard done by. They're gonna feel so they're gonna come to Old Trafford and they're gonna try and prove a point in one way or another. So we can't be like laissez-faire about it. We can't just be like in gear 3, gear 2 relaxing. We got to go out there and play like like the match hasn't been won yet until the 90th minute whistle goes. So we got to do that. Democrat says, interesting fact before I go, 1967 Bilbao beat United 5-3 in the European Cup. United won 3-0 at Old Trafford and went on to win their first European Cup in 68. Almost as if we lose to Tottenham, I don't think I'll ever get over. Well, neither will I, but we have something on our side. That United is a club that wins trophies. Tottenham is a club that is Spursy and doesn't win trophies. So, they might have beaten us 3 times, but those were regular matches and they didn't win silverware from it. Spurs has something in their club where if there's something with a trophy, they're really allergic to it. And they just find a way to avoid it at all costs. It's kind of like somebody that's allergic to bees. They do everything to just avoid getting stung by a bee. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. There's still another leg to go. Maybe we end up playing Bodo, and maybe it is Tottenham. But we got to see. Rajat says, be happy that Man United won. Let's think about the next tie later. Yes, we have a game at the weekend as well. So 10% tariff from Manchester. That's all I'm charging. Well, he's being gracious because he could have charged us a lot more on that tariff. So thankfully, only 10%. It's very good. Axe says the referee was Poggers, ultimate Viking lord, son of Thor, Walter of the red card. Also, the Italians in VAR, mamma mia. Well, the ref was sort of, I think he did well to not succumb to the pressure. I mean, because the Atletico Bilbao fans were absolutely pissed. They were absolutely pissed. And we've seen referees kind of crack under the pressure and try to make it a little bit more, I guess, fair or level for the other team that feels like they got done hard by. And I think he did a good job. It pissed me off slightly because I think there was, and maybe some people, they liked it, but I think there was some times where there was like clear fouls and he wasn't calling them. And I was getting kind of pissed because I was like, what is this guy doing? But no, I think he did his job. For the most part. And I would say VAR took too long, though. I was getting upset about the VAR for the penalty call because I was like, at that moment, I was like, we had a little bit of momentum going for us. And I was like, if they don't give us this penalty, they've just absolutely destroyed our momentum because they've taken 10 minutes to review what is a clear penalty. I mean, Ray Charles knew it was a penalty. And he can't fucking see because he's blind. But like, bro, like, I don't know how many times you had to watch the replay and why it took so long to send the ref to the monitor if they were so unsure. And I was just like, if they don't end up giving us this penalty, I was like, they've just done us because I was like, we actually had a bit of momentum there. We were looking threatening. And I was like, they just killed the game because we've been standing around for 10 minutes now doing nothing. Thankfully, they finally got the decision and the call correct because it was absolutely a penalty. I wasn't thinking about the red. I was actually a bit surprised by the red. I get it, he denied a goal-scoring opportunity, but that just wasn't even going through my mind. I just wanted the penalty awarded, because I knew if we get the penalty, I knew Bruno was going to score it. So, almost says, I hope that Jesus Christ is smiling on us, and we win in the final. Well, I got him here. And I was praying and telling him, please let Bruno score the goal because it's been a very difficult time for millions of people around the world, and we need a little bit of cheer. So I think he heard me. Because it went very, very well. It went very, very well for us. So yeah. Rajat says, hope that Man United win Bodo Glimt Tottenham. No, I think we'll do well. I think it's going to be a good game, regardless of who the opponent is. Yeah, please, please, please. I get the jokes, but please refrain from the from the political things. We're talking about football. Politics gets people very very upset. Um, so yeah, just try and tone it down a little bit. Don't get carried away. Lion says, I love the tactics tonight. Wingbacks becoming wingers, Euro and Lindelof becoming right and left back, and Akase becoming center back. Well, I think we did a good job, and I think we were smart about it. You know, when we came out in sort of the second half, even a little bit in the first half, but more so in the second half, I think we were smart about it. We went as wide as possible, and that was to take advantage of that we had an extra man on the pitch. So you want to make yourself as wide as possible, make as much space as possible, make it harder for the other team to, you know, just get the ball back. You want to spread them a little bit thin. They're obviously going to try and be compact. You don't want to play into them that way. You don't want to be forcing balls through the middle when you don't have to. You don't want to be giving them the ball cheaply, because they're literally desperate for that. They're desperate for that to sort of happen, because they're down a man, they're down a leg pretty much. And they're desperate for you to make mistakes and give them opportunities and give them chances. And I think we did well in that opportunity. I think we were smart. We widened the pitch. We got really wide. We opened it up. We made it difficult for them to really get anywhere near us. And I think that was good, adjustments by the manager, and smart execution by the players. Ray says, I don't want to be negative today, but the team needs a lot of work, and they do. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't take it as negative. It's because it's the truth. The team needs work. It does. Again, we're not perfect. We're not the finished article. We're not there yet. But we're not even really close, I would say. But there are things in this team that we have, positive things that we can work with and go forward. And there are negative things that need to be fixed and cleaned up and improved for us to become the ultimate just team, to perform at the highest level in the highest competitions. And we got a ways to go, because again, we're in the beginning of this. It's going to take time, and it's going to take work, hard work, and it's going to take some progress, and it's going to take, some personnel changes. But I think we can get there, if we do what we are supposed to do as a club, meaning our hierarchy and our manager and the players, everybody together as one unit operating properly. I think we can get there. But again, we got to see the steps, adjust from that position. Almost as I'm very pleased, I can see the team improving, and the way we're playing, the way we move the ball, the coach is really stamping his authority on things. You can see. I think he's actually doing. Again, I know the results in the Prem haven't been great, but I actually think with what he's got, and considering the situation that he's come into mid-season and all that, and being at a disadvantage, I was thinking about it today during the match. In my mind, in reality, he's actually been at a disadvantage, because coming in and doing what he's doing, in the middle of a season, he's starting behind everybody, and we were already behind, but him himself is starting behind every other manager in the league, because they've all had their preseasons. They've got their players in for the most part. And, he's coming to Manchester United, which is a big club. It's not an Everton. It's not like, oh yeah, Everton, they're kind of having a shittier season than they thought they were going to do. Get in somebody, tighten up the defense, stop conceding so many goals, get a point here or there, save a couple points here, and, everybody will be sort of content that it's gotten slightly better. He's had a big job that he has to do, because not only does he has to get us playing good, but he has to build the team. He has to build the play style, and it's a lot of work. So I actually think for what he has, I actually think he's done a decently good job considering all the circumstances put together. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to get next season. That's my main point. I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to get next season. Ray says Lenny plays the ball backwards, play too safe for me. It's part of it though. It's part of it. I think actually Lenny operated very well in some tight spaces today. When he was on the ball, which I thought was positive. And I think sometimes it's just part of the team. I don't think it's necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily a Lenny thing. I think sometimes there isn't the best available options up the pitch when you look. When you look, I think sometimes one of the big things that we need to improve on is the players need to make sure that they're in a positive position for their teammate that's on the ball. I don't think we do that well enough sometimes. Sometimes we sort of give the ball to somebody. Like, there was a point today somewhere in the match, we gave somebody the ball on the right-hand side. I believe it was Garnacho. And I think it was Ugarte or Cass that passed it to Garnacho. When he made that pass, Garnacho was surrounded by 3 Bilbao players, and there was nobody open. Casemiro was then guarded, Ugarte was guarded, and there was nobody else really around him. His back is to the touch line, and he's got nowhere to go. And I'm like, well, you made the pass, and then you got hidden by the opposition. And, so what is Garnacho supposed to do in that situation? He's going to lose the ball. You were supposed to make the pass and then run and open and get open for him so he could give it back to you and so we can move it. So there's little things there, positional wise and IQ wise, that still needs to be sorted out on that level. So United is still undefeated in this year's Europa League. Yes, we are. And we ended Bilbao's streak because they were undefeated at home in the Europa League. I think in the last 6 matches or something like that, and we've ended that for them as well. So Ray says Rasmus was involved in 2 goals. He was. He was. I think he did a good job. In all aspects besides being a goal scoring threat, I think he did a good job today. I do. So Maguire was told that he was being called the Houdini online. He said, "I'm sure I've got a lot of nicknames online." Yeah, I think he does well. He's done well to shoulder that the whole online aspect. He's done well. So good for him. It's good that he's in a positive place now. Positivity always triumphs the negativity always. One player tried to get Maguire sent off or at least yellowed, booking, but the Olympic swimmer dove clear. I mean, I don't think that was a red, and I don't think it was really a foul. The Bilbao player initiated the contact, and I think it was really 50-50. And I think they did well in that situation there. Almost said the stadium that we played at tonight is the final for the Europa League. It is. And maybe that that might play into our hands a little bit as well. Because we'll be familiar to it. Obviously, it'll be different because it'll be split between our fans and the other fans of whoever is in there, whether it's Spurs, or Bodo Glimt. But yeah, maybe it'll play into our hands very well because we've already been there. So, guys, make sure you please smash the like button because it helps us and it helps us get pushed out there. I'm gonna get to the live player ratings as soon as we finish up these comments. We need more likes, says Ray. Hit the like button. Yes, Ray. We need more likes. Yes. Lion says, I mentioned in the Discord, but the quality of subs when fit, we do have options. Yes. We do. I mean, it's much better. I mean, if you look at, the options we had on the bench today compared to what we had maybe a few weeks ago. I mean, a few weeks ago, as much as we love the kids, it was only kids. It didn't fill you with confidence with experience, the depth and the quality, right? So again, this is why I think it's important that we make sure we fill out the team as properly as possible when we go into the summer window. So Rajat says her Tottenham Spurs trophy cabinet cleaner got laid off earlier last week. I'm surprised they even had one. I'm surprised they even had one. Why would they even have one? There's nothing to clean. Benedito is in the squad too. He made it, so that's nicely definitely. Listen, even though the kids didn't play tonight, it's still a good experience for them in a way. I know some people maybe they don't really buy into this sort of stuff, but as kids, to sort of experience this, you know, you go through the preparation of sort of this big match. You do the training, you do the traveling, you go on the bench, you at least experience the atmosphere, and also, you know, you learn and you watch. You're watching more senior players playing the match. You're watching it unfold. It's you know, even if they didn't play and they don't get the all important, you know, match experience, like game experience, playing time experience, it's still a good experience for them to partake in. So you know, it's good that they were there, and they sort of go through this experience as well. It builds a little bit into their personality and their character as well. Almost as Eric, they need to sort out the VAR next season because it's it's gross, and the amount of time it takes is a joke. No, it is. I mean, it is, and it's, for me, it's a big issue. It's not really about me waiting. It's more about the issue of the momentum of the match. They need to do something to sort it out because, again, like, if they didn't give us that penalty, they killed our momentum. They reset the game. We were building momentum, and we were looking a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more dangerous. And then you have everybody sitting there for about 10 minutes trying to figure out a decision. You've totally reset the match in the way it was going. And thankfully, we got the pen, and it didn't really reset because we then went up 2. And we got the red, so it really just it stayed on our side. But if we didn't get that pen, you know, who knows what would have happened from there. But it definitely would have taken some of the pressure off of Bilbao that we were putting on them. So Access Tottenham is cursed. They can't win a trophy. We've had to hold in the lines and win that final. We can't be defeated by Tottenham 4 times in a season. I don't think so. I think we'll beat them. I think we're gonna win this competition. I've said that we're gonna win this competition. I feel like we can do it, and I do believe that we can, and I think we will. I think we will. I really do. I truly do. I am a little annoyed that I didn't see the second Bruno goal. You didn't see it. Well, go see it when you can. You know, it was a good goal. It was a good goal. Good take by Bruno. Lion says, someone mentioned here that the Williams brothers were going to, and I quote, destroy us. Well, they got that one also. Listen. You know, for Bilbao and the way that they play, I mean, they do have a big impact, the Williams brothers, for the team. But yeah, this is what I was saying. Like, it's not to discredit and say that that the Williams brothers or Bilbao isn't a good team, but I really wasn't having none of that they were going to destroy us. You know, I certainly didn't feel that way. I was like, okay, maybe they can beat us, and maybe they'll be the better team. But you know, I wasn't about that we were gonna get obliterated. Not in this competition. I understand the Prem. Again, I've been trying to say, the Prem is a different sort of beast. And that's why I say Tottenham is the biggest problem, because even if they've had just as bad as a season as us, the speed and the physicality of the Prem is different to all these other teams that we've been playing in Europa League, which allows us to actually play good, which is why we need to up ourselves in personnel, but we also need to up ourselves in the personnel that we have in the system. They got to get a little bit more stronger, and they got to play the system a little bit more faster. They got to make some decisions faster. But when you make it faster, you know, sometimes they say, you know, you can't rush perfection, but like, that's because when you rush, sometimes you tend to make more mistakes, and we have to, like, we have to figure out how to clean that up so that we can be faster and make less mistakes and execute it better, moving the ball faster, making the correct, you know, the correct decisions and the correct options. And just being more clinical in that aspect of passing the ball. You know, because there was sometimes in the match where we were a little bit sloppy with the ball. We gave it away. Some of the touches, even some of the players, you can see. I mean, there was that one where Dorgu kicked the ball to Mount. Mount's making a forward run. Mount didn't even see that Dorgu kicked it to him. Mount's running away from the ball. Dorgu's staring at the ball like, what the hell? You know, miscommunication. There's still these things that need to be nicked in the butt and cleaned up and sorted out and rounded out. We will get there, but those things will take time. They always take time. They do take time. So Axis will be right back. There's work. Mohammed Umer says, if we reach the final, I'm scared because I'm having this feeling that we might lose against Tottenham. Probably. Now listen. We got to get out of this mentality, I think, guys. I think we got to get out of this mentality. You know, we at the end of the day, we're Manchester United. We win trophies. We haven't had the best season. It hasn't been, you know, a great, I guess, 12 years. Some good moments and bad moments along the way. But we're Manchester United. You know, that tifo that we put up there, you know, that says never gonna stop. And that is the attitude. And you know, the attitude that Ferguson instilled in our club and into our fans and into our players. Never give in. And that's what this club is. And you know, he got that from his predecessors, Sir Alex. And that's what our club is built on. That is what our club is built on. I encourage some of you, you know, maybe it's boring because it's like a history lesson, but I encourage you to just go and look at periods of Manchester United's history. I mean, there's some really dark times. There's times where we were nothing. We won nothing. We were nothing. We had, you know, and we come out of the depths of the darkness to do great things. And we do it in difficult situations as well. And that's what this club is. That's what this club has always been. And regardless of who owns us, and regardless of, you know, if we have good people or bad people, that part of Manchester United will never die, because we won't allow it to. We have people that continue to carry it through the club, and we must never let it die. And that's why that's also one of our other mottos and our other sayings. We will never die. So you know, listen, I know we're not in a perfect situation, and it can always get better. But, you know, again, my head always goes back to United in the past. We've been in situations like this before. I mean, hell, we got relegated and we came back from that. You know what I mean? So it takes time. Things have to change, and change is uncomfortable, and change takes time as well. But I truly believe that this club will get back to being what it's supposed to be at some point in time. I do. Why does everyone keep saying Spurs are going to beat us in the final? I mean, it's Spurs in the final. Come on, let's use some common sense here, people. Spurs won't beat us in the final, says Lions. Well, the thing is, I know why they're doing it, because Spurs has beat us 3 times, and our season hasn't been great. So there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear, and I get it, and I understand it, and I get you don't want to be too overconfident. Because overconfidence isn't a good thing either, right? Too much of one thing isn't good, no matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. You don't want to be too overconfident, but I think we shouldn't be too afraid either. You know, again, at the end of the day, we're Manchester United. If we get to a final, it's in our club's history that we go and we win this final, regardless of the circumstances. We've done it many times, regardless of the circumstances. You know, in '99. When we won the treble, I mean, Bayern Munich were absolutely slaughtering us. They were the better team than us. They had better players on paper. But somehow we overcame that. Somehow we you know, we made it through. We had a little bit of luck, sure, but we overcame it and we got through it. You know, when we had the Busby Babes and we had the Munich air crash. And we lost a great team, and we lost some great players in that team that who knows what they would have went on to go do. And our club was an absolute disaster. And we came back from that period and restored ourselves to win the Champions League, or what is the Champions League now. You know, we've always done it. We've always done it. You know, it comes in periods, but we've always done it. There's so many times that we've done it. So let's why can't we do it again? Why not? It's just Spurs. It's just Spurs. We're United. It's in our history. It's our club. Regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the season we had, we've made it to the final. Or we make it, or you know, if when we make it to the final, when we make it to the final, we're in the final. Why can't we do it? It's our club. It's United. I get it. There's this fear because we've bottled it many times. We've been let down. We've been disappointed. I get that. But at the end of the day, this is our football club, and our football club is built on wonderful miracles, monumental things happening in football matches that no one could have ever dreamed of or thought that was going to happen. And that's what this club is. That's what this club has always been. And that's what this club is always going to be, regardless of anything. And I truly believe that in my heart. Absolutely. Box is here. Mohammed says, yeah, we might be the first team to hand over the first major trophy. Let's not put it out there. Let's not put it out there. Don't put those vibrations out there. Don't put it out there. We're going to win. We're going to win this thing. We're going to win this thing. Let's have some confidence in our team. Let's have some lads. Listen, it's easier to say that we'll fumble the bag than it is to say that we're going to secure it. Right? So let's take the stronger path. Let's take the harder path, and let's say we're going to win this thing. And if we don't win it and we're let down, it's a part of life. And it's a lesson to be learned. But you know what? You got to deal with it. Box says we have to be professional next week and start the game strong. We absolutely do. It's one of the requirements. It's a must. There's no exceptions. It doesn't matter if it's us or somebody else. You expect that from any proper team that is going to go and actually win this thing. You must absolutely be professional. No taking your foot off the gas. No thinking that you've won it before the match is kicked off. I don't think we should get that. I don't think coming from the manager, I think Ruben will be giving them that message. And it's up to the players to once again, go on that pitch and do what they're supposed to do. I don't think Ruben is going to say anything different than pretty much what we're saying. You have to be professional. The thing is not done. Football is a crazy game. You never know what could happen or what can happen. And you got to follow it through to the 90 minutes. And I think Ruben is gonna say something like that. So, we don't want to give away an early goal to Babao. That we definitely don't want to do. I'm glad we didn't do it today. We sort of kind of almost did it in one position where Onana had to make that save. But he made a good save, and then luckily the game, basically from 25 minutes on, was in our full control. But yeah, I mean, that's been one of the bad crutches for us, right? So, hopefully we don't do that. I think if we don't do that, I think we'll be in a very good position. And that's something that's been killing us, Box. Giving away bad, stupid early goals. The goal at the weekend that we gave away, was totally our fault. And it should have never happened. Those goals cannot happen. Those goals cannot happen. They should not be happening, and they can't happen because it puts us in a very bad position. And it makes our job a lot harder. And it leads to times where we don't get the results we can get or deserve. So yeah. Fine. So let me see. The necklace that you have on, Eric, please ask Jesus Christ to do us a favor on the 21st of May if we reach the final. I will, don't worry. I will. Lions getting frustrated because he doesn't believe that Spurs can. Listen, let's be real. I'm having a bit of fun. I'm having a bit of banter. You go into a final, anything can happen. And at one point maybe Spurs got to win a trophy, but I just truly believe that we will win. I've been feeling it from before the Lyon match. This competition, again, it's been very kind to us. It's been very good for Ruben and for us. He's done very well since coming in. And I do truly believe we can win it, regardless of the opposition. I think the Tottenham it'll be a little bit more difficult than if we played some other team. But I think once we get to the final, I think that sort of all goes out the window. I think it's just a regular final. Regardless if they beat us 3 times in one season, it's just a final of football. And it just comes down to very basics. Are we ready to win it? Are we ready to get over the line and do what we're supposed to do on the pitch and accomplish winning the trophy? Or are we not there yet? And that's all it comes down to, really. So please smash the like button, people. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, we are trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. We're on the road, so we appreciate you very much joining the community as well. And get involved in the live chat. We're going to do live player ratings very, very soon, in the next 5 minutes. So, yeah, just going through the chat and getting the chat up here. Almost says these are not the same players as we had in the past. If I'm honest, I don't trust them, any of them, but they've done that to me. Well, no, I get that. I mean, they're not the same players, but this is Manchester United at the end of the day. And I get that, and I understand that, and I get what you mean by that. Certainly, you know, the difference in some of the quality and the level of players, you know, from those times to current at this moment in time, you know, it is different. But again, our club has gone through some miraculous periods in throughout our history, and somehow we always seem to get over the line, even in our darkest hours. And that's what this club is really about. Only one I trust is Fernandez. There's a couple in there. I think I would say I trust him more, but fair enough. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel, you know? Axe says, we are united, we are glorious, we are marching on. See, I like when you like this more, Axe. Being a little bit more positive. Listen, criticism's always good. I always welcome criticism, but we don't always have to go so crazy with the negativity, you know? So I get it, but I like when you like this, Axe. I like when you like this. Not that I don't like you when you're like that either, but I'm just saying I like it a lot more because I like positivity. Positivity is always great. If we lose against Tottenham, I will go berserk. Well, I mean, I don't think you're the only one. I'm gonna lose my shit too. I kind of feel like Almo. I won't really necessarily be able to handle it quite well. I don't know what you're gonna get from me on the stream either. When you know, if I had to do it. But that's not gonna happen because we're gonna win the damn thing. We're gonna win the damn thing. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now, we're going to win the damn thing. Also, we reached the final. Don't want to see a weak team. We need to put out the best team. I don't want to see Lindelof at the back. Well, listen, if we got options and the options are available, then, you know, we're going to have a strong team. I don't think that's an issue. I think Lindelof was back there because, you know, still a little bit of a lack of options. We lost Diego Dalot. We've had to shift Maz to the right. Delit obviously wasn't ready to play more than the minutes that he's played. So you got to manage it as you got to manage it. I think if everybody stays fit going forward and we suffer no more setbacks in terms of new injuries or reoccurring type of injury, we'll have probably our strongest team possible, other than, you know, barring, you know, we'll be missing Martinez, Xerxes, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Out of the main players, we'll have the strongest team possible. I mean, Ahmad is back, that's fantastic, and I'm happy Delit is back as well, and Mount, you know, still making his cameo substitute appearances, but it's good. He hasn't gotten re-injured yet. And I don't know why I said yet, but he hasn't gotten re-injured. And last time, you know, the last 2 times he didn't last so long. He came back for 25 minutes, and got re-injured. So there's some positive signs trending that way. Let's hope it sticks that way and stay that way. But yeah, I'm sorry if I skipped some of your comments because there's a lot of comments. Junaid Sayed says, "Viva Man United." And said, Man United 3-0. Wow, yes. We are very, very happy today, Junaid. Glad to get you in the chat. Happy to hear from you. No dream, guys. No dream. I don't know what's going on in the chat. It's just a little bit of a back and forth. I don't know what's going on. Almost says, I would play Ahmad because he is a big game player. Look what he did against Manchester City. Well, that's the great thing. I mean, the more options we have, the more we can kind of play around with it. The more we can kind of change things around. I was thinking about Maz today. And I think Maz had a very good game at right wing back. The commentator on TNT Sports was saying, the commentator on TNT Sports was saying, that he thinks that Maz is better at right wing back, and he should be playing there over Delo. He said he thinks he offers more than Delo, and he does that position better. And I wasn't really too fussed about that because I was more so thinking, but this is why it's important to have these multi-positional players that we've been trying to get, because he's played very good at right center back, and he's played good at right wing back. And if we didn't have a sort of player like that, we would be in more trouble in those two positions. And it gives us less option, and it gives us less flexibility. So, and he's been fantastic. Again, one of the things I love about Maz is that he has this thing where even if he's like out of the play, even if he gets beat, his recovery to get back into a good position and get a piece of his body on the ball is something I absolutely love. I don't know what to necessarily call it, but he just somehow always gets himself back into the play, and he somehow always does something to affect the opposition's attacker, whether he throws them off on a shot, whether it's him touching the ball. He has this thing about him. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to say it is. It's just something about his game where he manages to get a touch or to get back in a good position and throw somebody off, and he's always doing it. He does it like almost every game. I'm not saying he's perfect. Obviously, everybody makes mistakes, but he does something. It's something about him there that for him to do that. I feel like we're actually really lucky that we got him for the price that we got him, and for what he's done this season. He's been an absolute steal for us. Absolute steal. I keep thinking about my friend who's a Bayern Munich fan, and he was telling me in the summer when we got him, and he was very, very upset because he rated Maz very highly. And he told me, he said, you guys are getting a very good player. He said, I didn't want them to sell him. I don't know why they're selling him. They should have kept him. And I was a little bit skeptical because, we've been here sort of over the past 12 years where we kind of pick up these players that are deemed maybe as leftovers, and the price wasn't so high, right? So I kind of felt like, well, I don't watch Bayern too much. I don't watch the Bundesliga. I don't know exactly what kind of player we're really getting in Maz. And I was just kind of hoping that he wasn't this sort of leftovers player that is sort of finished, and that's why Bayern let him go, and that's why Bayern let him go for that small amount as well. But thankfully, no, he was actually really right. We got a really, really good player. So, Lyle, also letting you guys know, drop a like, subscribe, and get in the Discord. We have a Discord. It's a very, very beautiful Discord. If you like Discords, we have many, many channels in there. We have things about transfers, match day, all sorts of stuff. We also have some other random stuff in there as well. There's one called Randomonium. There's a cooking aspect going in there. There's something about wrestling. If you like wrestling, you could get involved in that too. So I'm going to pin it and replace my pin. I'm going to pin that. And if you want, join through the link in the Discord and get involved if you're not in the Discord already. We've been providing good updates there from transfer news, transfer rumors, and all that sorts of stuff, and some good discussion going on in there as well. So thank you for that, Lyle. Almost says he was very good after he sorted itself out. Same with the guard. They both look very good after a sloppy start. Yes. Almost says he's incredible. 18 million. He was bargain of the season. He was. And we need more players like that. We need more players like that. We need more. See, here's the thing. We need more signings like that, and we need more players like that with that sort of like mentality, kind of grit and fight, and attitude, but plus ability. These are the players that will make up a team, that will make up a genuine team. We need more of them. It's not always about getting the shiniest toy that costs 70 million. There are players out there that you can build out this team like Maz for good transfer fees. And this is what I've been asking the club, and I've been saying the club needs to do to elevate us, and to get us to where we need to go. We need this in more areas on the pitch, in different positions. But yeah, Lyle says the only time Maz is good at right wing back is when we focus more on the left and go through the pitch that way. Maz then is more alert with less pressure, which gives him more recovery time if needed. Yeah, I mean I like him as the center back. I think he does that job well. But he also plays right wing back good too. Rajat says no BM fans were getting very happy about Mazen De Ligt transferring to United. But no, Bayern Munich fans were getting very happy about Mazen De Ligt transferring to Man United. And if they sign petitions, then that means they will probably be amazing. Yeah, no Bayern Munich fans were getting happy. I read that wrong. Yeah, they weren't. I remember that as well. But you know, sometimes fans get it wrong. Sometimes fans get it wrong. So you never know. I was kind of trusting Bayern because I viewed them as sort of an exceptional organization, and they tend to do very good, sort of business in terms of signing and selling players. So I was a little bit worried. But, I wasn't too worried because he wasn't that expensive. But I was just hoping that he wasn't like... I was just hoping that he wasn't going to be one of these signings that, like, we're getting that's, like, dusted. Which he clearly, obviously, isn't. So, but that is true, yeah. Vidic. Nemanja here. Nemanja. Whoa. Nemanja. Whoa. He comes from Serbia. He'll fucking murder ya. Nemanja Vidic is here. Says Amarim in. We love it. We love it. We love it. Yeah. Doing a lot of singing today. I'm doing a lot of singing today, and I don't sing. Why are people always so surprised? He looks talent, or do you think it's too soon? I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't know. I don't know how to. What did we lose? Did we lose something? Oh, it said. All right. I thought we lost something. It said my OBS reconnected. Okay, never mind. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know about the Argentinian kid. I saw the goal he scored. I seen a couple other clips. Again, I don't watch the full matches, so I can't really analyze him like that. I mean, he is being talked about very heavily, like in a positive way. I mean, we all saw LAMINE Yamal yesterday. Not yesterday, the day before, sorry. We also LAMINE Yamal, and that was craziness. That was craziness. And they were saying that he might be like Yamal. Obviously a little bit of a different path because Yamal has already played 100 games senior at that age. But I don't know. For me, he's a little bit. His price tag's a bit expensive, 35 million euros for a 17-year-old who plays in the Argentinian league. But, listen, if our scouts and our recruiting are doing what they are supposed to be doing, and there's actually some significant interest in this kid as well, and he is that good, then I guess do it and, make sure that it gets justified. I don't know. I would have to see him. It's kind of like Ronaldo at the time. I have to see him, if he was to come to us and he's got to play with us, I got to see what he can give us. Then I can tell you, can he go for the starting 11? Can he be, I mean, to be in the starting 11 as a 17-year-old, a kid that's playing at River Plate right now, to going and starting in the Prem is like, I think it's pretty much unheard of. So, I don't know. I feel like it would be too soon, but I can be wrong as well because maybe he's like, this next generational player. So, anybody see that free kick? I mean, the free kick was insane. It was very, very far away. So, We made it to the big time now, boys and girls. Rajat says people think Bruno and Odegaard performance are at the same level. No, they're not. No, they don't. I seen Arsenal fans. I seen the Arsenal fans apologizing to Bruno Fernandes. I haven't putting them in the same conversation. Bruno is miles above Odegaard. You know, the only thing Odegaard does better than Bruno is hold the ball better. But when you put it in every other aspect, Bruno outperforms him in every single way. So, one brilliant free kick doesn't make a good football. Well, I mean, he looks like a good talent from what I've seen in the clips in terms of just like general like dribbling and sort of ability. But you know, again, going from Argentina River Plate to playing in the Prem is two different total things. So he definitely has potential, but I just don't know, you know, how high of that is. Rajat says Ma's injury record was it was as well. Go Sing Park Chi Sung Sung or Chen. He's 5'2". He's short. Rajat says don't do it. Almost says I would take him, but South American players like that want to play for Real Madrid, so I think that's where I end up. Well, yeah, I think that is probably the biggest thing as well. Most likely, a lot of South Americans, they're usually Real Madrid or Barca fans, one way or the other, especially like Argentina or Brazil. So we're usually at a disadvantage at that point. But you know, if Real Madrid aren't interested, then maybe he goes to somebody that is interested. So you know, we'll see. Let's do player ratings real quick. Let's do player ratings real quick. I'm gonna kind of run through them. I'll try to give you guys some time to put in your own as well. But I don't want to take necessarily too long on them. If you have your own player ratings already, you can just throw them in the chat right now without me, and I'll get to them, you know, after I kind of do mine. Let me get this side by side. So, yeah, give me uno momento. All right, we're back again. All right. In center mid. Many South American players, especially Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, Endrick, Rafinha, Neymar, like going to Portugal and Spain since nice weather got similar language. Well, obviously, you know, especially in Portugal, they speak Portuguese, and Spain is not that far off of it. But yeah, player ratings. Andre Onana, this one's easy. Giving him a flat 6. Really had nothing to do, but he did make a big good save in the beginning. But on the course of 90 minutes, and again, I said this last time, 6 is average. There's nothing wrong with the 6. And I kind of what happened today is kind of the example that I used last time when I explained this. Like, it wasn't really anything for him to do, so there's not really much to really judge him on. So he just gets a 6 for today, which is fine. I actually prefer it. It's actually better when your goalkeeper's getting steady 6s, than either getting 8s or getting 3s. Because if he's getting 3s, he's done something wrong. If he's getting 8s, that means that we were getting absolutely exposed and obliterated, and we needed him to save our ass. So the more 6s Onana gets, actually, probably the better, because that means that we're doing a better job as a team, as a whole. So Onana, Rajat says, gets rated, think like 7.5. Base ratings today, Eric is 7. Not 6. Base ratings today, Eric is 7. No. 6 is average. No performance was worse than the 6 today. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, there might be 1 or 2 players you can sort of make an argument for that. Like, for me, like Lindelof, I think you can kind of argue maybe a 5.5, but if you want to give him a 6, you know, average. But for me, again, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I even texted my mate, who's the Sporting fan. I told him, because he was watching the game as well, so we were having a little bit of a chat in the group chat, and he said this was when we got the penalty and Bruno scored and we got the red card. And Bilbao got the red card. He said, "If you guys don't finish them, if you guys don't finish off the semis in this game, he said you guys are hopeless." Um, and I followed up. I told him, I said, "We got this," but I said Lindelof and Ugarte need to wake the f up though, because they were sleeping a little bit. Uh, they weren't horrible, so there's nothing to crucify them about, but I think they were just slightly a little bit below average. For me, Lindelof, 5.5, maybe a 6. Rajat says everybody gets rated 7s or above. No, I'm keeping it the way I want to keep it. You want to give everybody 7s, that's fine. Lion says all I'm going to give is Casemiro 8. 9, man of the match guy, was everywhere on the pitch today. Well, we'll get to that, but yeah, General Casemiro. Steph is here as well. Steph's just got in from pub. Be gentle with me. Well, good to have you back. How was the pub, Steph? How was the atmosphere in there? I'm sure it was very rowdy and happy and positive today. And I think you're feeling very nice. Yeah, 5.5 for me. I think he was quite sloppy at times, a little bit messy. 5.5 or 6. He was one of the players. Him and Ugarte are the two players I would have taken them off or subbed them off at times. So I think everybody else is not even touching that. But he will give Maz 6.5. Well, we'll see. We will see. I didn't get to Maz, but Harry Maguire, I'll give him a 7. Because he turned into LAMINE Yamal for like 30 seconds, put in beautiful cross. But then overall as a defender for the time that he was on the pitch, he did Maguire things and he held it down and he did what he had to do. So Steph says crazy atmosphere, Eric, but very good. Yeah. Rajat says Maz tonight will get a 6.8. What? Where are you getting this from? We didn't get there yet. I'm on Maguire. So Maguire, yeah, I would give him a 7. I would give him a 7. I give Lenny a 7. I think they were on par. Lenny had a couple things that, yeah, maybe, but I think Lenny also did good on the ball. He was good in the tight spaces on the ball. And I think he does good to go forward with it at times. I think he can go more forward, but I'm not too critical of him with that yet. He's certainly improved as well over the season, has gone off. I think, in the beginning, it started off a bit shaky for him. Understandable, young guy making sort of a big transition. But I like what he's got in his game. And I think he's gonna, and I hope we do a good job, because I know we talked about this last time, and we haven't been able to really do well in producing, not producing, but really just elevating players to the highest possible, and really producing some very top consistent talent. And I think he can be one. We have to make sure that we fix ourselves and actually be able to do these things. So. Lenny had a tough start, but grew into the game. Yeah, he did. But there's some qualities there that I think that he does very, very well. And I look forward to seeing him growing and develop, especially as in the next couple years. Still a young guy. I think he's done well for himself so far, especially in his first season. Yeah, for me, Maz, I would probably give him probably a 7 as well. Again, I think Maz did well. Again, like I said before, he has this thing about him. I don't know what it is. He always, if he gets beat out of the play, he comes back into the play. He's good at getting his foot to the ball, making a tackle, sort of being a presence. And I think he did well going attacking wise today as well. He hit the crossbar, if I'm not mistaken, as well, right? I mean, it was a good shot. A bit unlucky that he smacked the crossbar. Would have been fantastic goal. He probably would have gotten a 9 for that. But I think he had a very good game. And it's good. It's good to see him have a good game because he's played mostly center back this season. And he's gone into right wing back and he's played well there too. So, yeah. Steph says, most important thing, we didn't concede, but forward still didn't get on the score sheet. Yeah, I did say that, Steph. That was my main goal. Once we went up 3 and we were up a man, that was my goal for the team. Don't make bad mistakes and stupid mistakes, and don't concede a goal under any circumstances. See the game out. They did that. I know Rasmus didn't get on the score sheet. Garnacho technically did, but technically didn't because he was offsides, which was unfortunate. So he didn't. But but again, this is why you need a team anyway, because the rest of the players have to do it. The rest of the players have to do it as well. And Cass got on there, and Bruno scored too. So our captain, that's been really, really, he's been really, 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 really good. That crossbar was properly rattled. What a sound! No, it was. It was a bullet of a shot. Bullet of a shot. Ugarte. I mean, I could be wrong here. But, like, for me, I don't think Ugarte had the greatest of games. I'll be a little bit nice. I'll give Lindelof a 6, and I'll give Ugarte a 6. To me, they were the two that was sort of the weaker links in the team today. And again, I'm not saying that they had horrible games. I just think that everybody else was kind of a step and a level above them and sort of had bigger impacts than them throughout the match. I think Ugarte is a good player, but I just think he was a bit off of it. There was a lot of times during the match, like Casemiro was screaming and yelling at him because he just seemed like he wasn't on the same, like level as everybody else. Like sometimes he was a little slow, little sort of sloppy mistakes, but there was some other times in the games that he did good. I mean, he had the flick on. And he had a couple other things that went on in the match that he did well and got involved in. And he did all right in some of the forward areas as well, because we were quite forward. So Steph says, congratulations, Sly, on becoming a mod. Well deserved. Well, he does deserve it, because I mean, no shade to you, Steph. It's okay. But I'm just saying, Lyle's literally always here. Always. But Lyle's also done a lot of things for this channel. He's created the Discord by himself. He's done some emojis for the channel that we haven't gotten either. So I feel like at the very least, one, he's very helpful, but two, he does deserve it. So yeah, he's done a lot, and he's offered that as well. So he does. But Lion Harry, Salib Baller, Lamal Maguire is just crazy. Lyle says Hoyland was the nuisance center forward tonight. No goals, sure, but he was a problem for some parts of the game. Yeah, and I did mention that in the beginning. Casemiro, I'm probably gonna give him an 8, maybe even an 8.5. I mean, he's got the goal. I think he was Don Casemiro today. I don't think he did one bad thing in the match. I don't think he put a foot wrong. He was, from start to finish, even the way he was carrying himself, he almost assumed like second captain role. Like the way he was out there demanding things from players and to step up their game, or to keep their head, and shouting at his teammates, and kind of just taking control himself, and taking the responsibility upon himself. He certainly felt like he had a little bit of a different aura tonight, than maybe in some past games. And again, I think, Uncle Cass, I think for the Prem, it might still be an issue with the legs, but I've mentioned before how Europe is a little bit slower and a little bit less physical. And it's played to our advantage in this Europa League. And I think in the Europa League matches, he's been phenomenal. And in the Prem, he hasn't been that bad, but every once in a while we will run into a game where it might be a problem. But something again about Casemiro as well. I feel like this happened last season as well. Didn't Casemiro, I think it's happened this season and it's happened last season, where like the beginning periods of the season, it seemed like he was very sort of off of it. And then when we got towards the later part of the season, and he just was much better. And he was putting in much stronger displays and much better performances. I feel like it's like sort of deja vu, because I feel like that happened last season as well, where in the beginning it was very bad and negative sort of on him, and people weren't loving him too much. But when we got into the later part of the stages, or the latter part of the stages of the season, he was actually much better. And he was putting in better, you know, putting in much better performances. So, Laz says, appreciate you, Eric, in this channel. Well, we appreciate you very much, Laz. So thank you for everything that you've done. Steph says, Almont and Delit got minutes too. Huge bonus. Absolutely, Steph. Absolutely. That was one of my big things in the beginning of the beginning of the show. So, Cass 8, maybe 8.5. Even for Dorgu, I think Dorgu was another one actually. I would go maybe on a part of probably a 6. It was a couple moments and periods in the match, especially early on. You know, again, a little bit out of position, not getting back as fast as I'd like him. He was jogging 1 or 2 times where he's the wing back. He's very high out of position compared to where the ball is, which is basically in and around our box. I think they almost scored a goal from it at one point, because Lenny was basically having to mark 2 players, and you know he's a human being and can't mark 2 players at the same time. And it was a very ball came on that side to that player and was redirected into the center, and it was very dangerous. And there was some other times where he did good going forward, but yeah, I think you know, I didn't see this from Dorgu in the beginning of his first few matches for us. I seen it this time, and it wasn't. I don't think it was last match. It was the last Europa League match that we played versus Lyon. He was sort of similar. So I don't know. Maybe it's just, you know, a European type of thing that's happening for him in these European matches. But yeah, Steph says General Casemiro is a real winner, infectious character that we need in the changing room. I mean, he is good for that aspect as well. So, Dorgu and Maz need their first United goals. Yeah, I would like that too, to really feel like they belong. But Maz arguably player of the season. I mean, yeah, considering that he's been available for basically the whole season. I mean, I think Diallo was trending that way, but I don't think you can really give it to Diallo, considering that he's missed a big chunk. But it's good that he's back. And as good as Bruno has been, I think Bruno in the beginning of the season, there was a good period where he wasn't as good as he has been recently in the past couple months. So I don't think you could really give it to Bruno either. I think Maz has probably been the most consistent over the course of a season. You know, maybe it's not necessarily the most important in terms of, you know, what Bruno does, which is scoring and creating chances and stuff like that. But I think on a consistent level, I think he's been the most consistent over the whole season. Steph says 15 likes. Yes. Alejandro Garnacho. I would give Garnacho maybe a 6.5. Maybe a 6.5. I think, especially in the beginning, I liked that, you know, when the match was a bit cagey before, you know, we got the goals and the red card and all that sort of stuff. I liked the confidence from Garnacho. He was asking to get on the ball. He was doing good things on the ball. I think there was some Garnachoism sort of things going on there, where he still does. Sometimes he does dribble still a little bit too much, runs into a little bit too much trouble. But I think I actually think that, you know, he was doing pretty good in terms of an impactful way in the attacking sense. You know, sometimes still a little bit too selfish, but yeah, that's something that I don't know if we'll be able to really eradicate that out of his game, and if we do, you know, it's going to take time. You know, it's not just like, you know, he's not just going to pop up in one game and all of a sudden like all that stuff's going to go away. So I don't want to criticize him too harshly on that, because I think he was a better team player today than sometimes he usually is, because sometimes he can be quite very selfish. But again, we always know the attacking threat that he has is very good. Garnacho took the disallowed goal well. He never hides in his strength. You know what? I did see that Garnacho did post yesterday somewhere on social media. I think it was Instagram. And he said Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world. And I think Garnacho, watching that match the other day, and seeing that performance by Lamine, I think that actually kind of spurred him on to go into the match today and perform well and have a good game, and be more confident in his ability. I kind of felt like that the way he started the game and the way he was sort of carrying himself and playing on that right hand side. I kind of felt like he was a bit spurred on by watching Lamine the other day and saying, you know, we're about the same age. I believe in my abilities, and I think I can be just as good as him. And I think he went in there and kind of did that. Yeah, he was in a different mood tonight. Yeah, I felt that. I did. And he posted that last night as well. So I think he was a bit spurred on by that. So, you know, let's see what comes out of it. Garnacho leaving is crazy big mistake, Surgeon. Well, he's not necessarily leaving. We don't know if he is. I think it could be 50-50. It could be very well, like you said, Rajad. It could be very well a big mistake. I don't know. I don't know. We don't know if he's leaving. No decision has actually been made. So let's see. I think it's open, and maybe you can argue that it's crazy that it's even a conversation or a discussion. And fair play, but you know, it's open. It's open right now. So let's see what happens. Steph says Cunha will defo improve tonight's team. Yep. And he'll add a little bit of the fact that he can play 10 and 9 as well is good. So that's a plus. Jim Ineos, Shithouse Glaciers, don't sell him to Chelsea with Tom. Well, that's the one thing. I mean, if we are going to sell him, I don't want to see him at Chelsea for sure. I won't like that very much. If Garnacho leaves, I will go berserk, says Axe. Well, let's see what happens. Cunha isn't big upgrade, but is going to add some great vital and is important depth to United. Well, I think he will be a big upgrade. I actually think he's going to be an important player for us. I think he'll be very important. But still only giving him a 6.5. Who, Garnacho? Yeah, I think he could have done more. He could have done better. I think he lost. I still think he lost the ball too many times. But 6.5 is good. 6.5 is good. It's not bad. I just, it's because I'm tough on him, because I think he can do more. Because I actually truly believe in Garnacho, and I think he can be an exceptional player. And I think he needs to add more to his game. So maybe it's just me, a little bit of tough love. I'm being a bit tough on him, because I think he can do more than what he's been giving us and what he's given tonight. I think he could do even more than that. So I think for him, it feels, for what he did, I feel like it's a 6.5. I think he could give us way more. And I think he can. If Bruno and Garnacho leave this transfer window, I will go. Well, Bruno's not going anywhere, so you don't have to worry about that. That's for sure. Bruno is 110,000%. Unless somebody comes and says here's 150 million, um, or something like that. I don't think you have to worry about Bruno Fernandez. He ain't going to. Garnacho is the one that's a little bit, because there's persistent rumors, and we just don't know how it's gonna go. I think it's open. I don't think they're like necessarily. See, I don't think Garnacho's like Rashford or Anthony or Sancho, right? I think he's there. I don't. I think where they stand is like they're not actively looking to sell him, but they kind of have this never say never, and they're like, maybe if we get a good price, maybe they'll sell him. You know, I don't know. I'm ruthless. Well, listen, that's he's my other son, right? I got two sons at this football club, Mano and Garnacho. They're both my sons. All right. I got my one son's on my back. The other son is up in the upstairs in the closet, right? So listen, when I buy a kid, which I don't do much anymore, and maybe hopefully it's not too much of a mistake, but I believe in these two kids. That's why I bought both of their kids. I believe in both of them equally, that they can both be very exceptional players. Um, in their future, and that's why I bought the kits. I don't have any other kits really from any other people of recent times. But I feel strongly about Garnacho, and I feel strongly about Menu, so I think they both can do it. Derek is the Godfather. uh, Rajat, both will thrive more with better players. Yeah, I hope we keep them. I think at least for the very least, I don't think it would do any harm to keep him for at least another season, at the very least. I don't think United have anything to lose. I mean, if they're quoting him for 60 million or so, right? I don't think we really have anything to lose. He's a young guy. I don't think, even if he doesn't have a great season, I don't think we'll lose that much in transfer value. And actually, I think he can go on to have a good season. So, and Steph says we're up to 17 likes now. So thank you guys that smashed the like button, because it helps us a lot. Rasmus, I will give Rasmus a 6.5. Because I skipped. I didn't do Bruno. But yeah, Rasmus, I will give a 6.5, because again, I think he did what he had to do and could do, in terms of everything besides, being a goal scoring threat. And as the striker, you do need to be a goal scoring threat to get quite a high score. But I think again, Rasmus did, good things in terms of link up play and fighting and battling out, and being a nuisance, like Lyle mentioned, with as the center forward with the center backs. And I think that's always a positive. I don't really take it against him. Some United fans out there, they say that he belongs in WWE because he's constantly wrestling. I have no problem with that. I like that in a player. I'd rather have that. I'd rather have the player fighting and doing something like that than doing absolutely nothing at all. Like I've seen some players in the United kid do once upon a time. So, I mean, I prefer, if obviously if he could score more goals and stuff, but for what this season has been, and sort of, I guess, the lack of opportunities and lack of chances. Because again, for me, it's one thing, like, if Rasmus has like 3 or 4 shots, like good opportunities with shots in the match, and he's missing them all, for me, that's one thing. But if it's like the opportunities aren't coming, they're not falling, or they aren't being necessarily created, there's only so much that he's going to be able to do in the match. So, and Steph says Rasmus did the shithousery very well. And yeah, and what's at least an encouraging sign is, obviously he got on the score sheet at the weekend, but even his first touches have gotten a little bit better. I mean, there was a period where he couldn't touch the ball. There was a period where he couldn't do anything. Like, he couldn't trap the ball, he couldn't touch the ball, he couldn't pass the ball, he couldn't hold the ball. He's at least doing those things good again. There's still the lack of the sort of attacking threat, but I guess, if he does stay here and we don't sell him, it's something for him to fix next season. And maybe he still has a couple more opportunities. Maybe, if and when we get to the final, you know, it takes one shot, one opportunity. What if he scores an important goal for us in that match? So there's still a little bit of hope that he can get something positive for himself as well. Um, Steph says game changed, winning that penalty and sending off massive. Well, yeah, that was a good. It was a good run. And it was good positioning. And this is why I argued last time, and I said I understand when Rasmus gets frustrated because there's sometimes there's a lack of creativity and options being made for him. But I do believe like you have to stay in the position. You can't lose your head, Rasmus. You can't start going crazy and start going all over the pitch trying to make yourself available. You need to stick to your striker position. You need to stick to making the striker runs, and you got to make sure that you're in that box. I mean, the goal he scored at the weekend, he scored because he was there, and sometimes in a lot of matches, especially this season, he's not there because he pulls himself way out of position to try and get on the ball because he's not getting the ball. And when the ball ends up in the box, he's not there. He was there for that goal because he was where the striker is supposed to be, which is in the box. The ball fell to him, and he tapped it in. But it's a goal. And sometimes strikers score that way. And the pen, I mean, he got the pen because again, he was where he was supposed to be as a striker. He read the pass coming in. I think he would have gotten it if he didn't get held back because he actually reacted to it quite well. So maybe a little bit unlucky for him because actually, if he didn't get fouled, maybe he would have just scored the goal himself. I mean, we would have said, well, Rasmus put the ball into the back of the net finally, and it was a good run by him and all that stuff. So it would have been, a bit different. Lions says, Lions, how can you forget? You can't forget. Nah, I'm kidding. It happens. But yeah, 18 likes now. Yes, we are running it up, and hopefully we got some more subscribers. That thing, I want to get it to do it live, but Bruno Fernandes, I didn't do Bruno Fernandes. I probably give Bruno. So let's do it this way because I think I'm gonna put it this way. I give Bruno an 8. I give Bruno an 8, 2 goals, and I think he played very, very well, all over the pitch. I think he did everything fantastic. Created a good amount of chances. But yeah, just Captain Bruno, turning up once again, and he's been very good for us over these past couple months. And this is what we need. This is why he's the captain. The leader, no doubt about the penalty. Always ice in his veins. He's not one that lets us down from that position or spot ever. So I was very confident. And that's why I was asking for the penalty so badly because I was like, I know if we get the penalty, I know Bruno will score. Will score it. And then the second goal was a great goal as well. Good control by him and a good finish. So yeah, I mean, and a lot of our play goes through him. And he's certainly the maestro of this team. We don't really have anybody else that sort of can do the things that he does. So that's why that's always my argument. People that don't rate him, I mean, it's your opinion and you don't have to rate him. But my whole thing is like, we don't have another person that can match or do the output of what he does. So, unless we ever get somebody that can do that or at least even rival him for that, I don't understand how you get rid of him, or replace him in any type of way. So, Dev says we all want Rasmus to be a forward focal point, nuisance, and goal scorer. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf used to say. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, that's the whole point, and that's what I would be saying to Rasmus. If I could speak to him and talk to him, I'd be telling him, listen, I get it. Like, I know you want to score goals and I know you feel like it's your job, and it is your job to score goals for the team. But I would be explaining to him, like, listen, if it's not happening, one, you got to keep your cool and you got to stay. You can't start doing things that he was doing where he was going all out of position because he's getting frustrated. I get that. But what you can do is what he has been doing in the past recent couple games, and actually sticking to the position and doing what he can when the ball comes to him. Making some good passes, holding up the ball, duking it out, battling with with the opposing defense, and being a nuisance, and being annoying, and being tough. And sort of leading the press when you can. And just getting involved in that way. And you know what? Maybe in the match the ball comes to you in a very good opportunity, you get a goal out of it. But you need to do the things, sometimes it's a little bit out of his hands, I feel like. And in that aspect, you just have to do whatever else you can on the pitch. And I think today that's what he did. There wasn't many opportunities really created for him. And he wasn't able to really create any opportunities for himself. But what he did do was he got involved in the game and the play, and he did a good job whenever the ball was at his feet. So yeah. DV says, good to see Ahmad back. Cooked one of the defenders like he never left. Hope he starts in the final match over Nacho. Well, yeah, I mean, it is good to see Ahmad back. I think everybody's happy about that. Very, very good. Anthony and Sancho both scored tonight. Money sign says lines, yes. Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens with Ahmad. I think I think maybe he does start over Garnacho. It's going to be interesting to see how Ruben kind of goes back around this, because again, Ahmad was one where I think when Ahmad was playing wingback, the team was actually performing better in terms of we were scoring more goals and creating more chances before he got injured. But we also know that Ahmad can play where Garnacho was playing as like a 10 or a wide 10. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how Ruben goes back with this. But also, I mean, it's not a lot of time. And maybe it can be enough time. Maybe it's not enough time. But from here to the final, I mean, he's just come back and gotten some minutes back. So, let's see how the recovery goes. Obviously, we don't want to push him too hard, and we don't want to lose him. But I mean, and maybe he's lacking a little bit. I mean, maybe he's not, because, like you said, he cooked one of the defenders like he never left. The only thing is that I would say to that is, one, I did love that DV, and he did. I would say that, listen, he came on towards the later part of a game against a team that was down to 10 men and doing a lot more work than they needed to, so they were more tired and stuff. Which is why you bring those players on at that time, because it kind of balances us out. I want to see, because I think if you start Ahmad in the beginning, maybe he's not that far off of it. Maybe he's up to speed, like he never left, like DV said. But maybe he might just be lacking a little bit of sharpness because he's been out for a little bit, and he hasn't been playing matches. And maybe if he starts a match against a fresh team or a fresher team, so they're kind of starting the match together, maybe he seems a little bit off of it. There's always that kind of that discrepancy there. That's why these players that come back from injury, and especially ones that have like the longer term injuries, it does take quite a while. They do, like, yeah, like, they can come on the pitch and they can play a good amount of minutes or whatever, or maybe they can give you 60 minutes, but they might not be sharp. It might take them a while to get sharp. It might take them a while to get to the level that they really need to get to. So Lion says Forest lost against Brentford. Yes, they did. It has opened it up. I think Forest has dropped to 6 now. And there's if we win, well, listen, if we win the Europa League, right? There's going to be 6 Prem teams in the Champions League, so it's going to be kind of crazy for England, Steph says, question: what team would you select for Brentford? Surely rest key players: Maguire, Bruno, Casemiro, etc. Yeah. I mean, at the very least, we can rotate. I mean, but okay. Well, I'm thinking because we got to play Thursday, right? Yeah. So yeah, I would probably. I mean, I think that's what he's gonna do. I think he's going to rotate. Because I think he made that quite clear. I think somewhere he said this already. He went strong against Bournemouth, because they have a similar style of play, and the manager came from the Bilbao region area. And that's why he went strong, because it was almost like a training match, in a certain aspect. It was good preparation for this match, since they play a similar formation and style of play and stuff like that. Uh, I don't think he's gonna go as strong versus Brentford. I think that I think we can do with the likes of putting in a couple players in there and giving some key players some rest, because we don't want them to get injured. We obviously are gonna have to play the stronger team on Thursday, next Thursday, because just to make sure that we do actually get over that line. And it's if you're looking at Brentford and you're looking at the Bilbao match, I'd rather rotate. I'd rather rotate for Brentford than rotate in Bilbao for Bilbao. Because the Bilbao match and that competition has the bigger implications. So I think you can do some rotation. Maybe we could get Fredrickson back in. I enjoyed his performance last time. Maybe we could get Almas back in. I enjoyed his performance. I think Bruno should get some sort of a rest, in some type of way. Maybe you can start Mount. I don't know. We see what we go there. Maybe put Cheeto up top or something. Maybe give Cheeto a start and give Rasmus a rest. I mean, Rasmus has played a lot of minutes, and he's been struggling regardless anyway. So let's see. We cannot afford to be violated by another EPL team. We can't afford another humiliation. Well, I mean, we didn't even really get violated. I mean, we drew the match. It just wasn't a great display, but I mean, we drew, and we lost last time. I don't know. I don't think. I mean, violated, to me, is the Newcastle match, and there's been a few matches in between that. So, I mean, I think when we played Newcastle, we were violated and humiliated. But I think the other matches, again, a lot of the results, even against Forests, I think we were the better team. We should have beat that. We should have beat them. We should have got over the line. So, yeah, I don't think that. Um, we need to win. We need to score 6 goals and keep a clean sheet. I at that point I don't even really care either. Like, I'll take a 1-0 win. At this point of the season, I mean, obviously I want them to win. The more they score, the better. But also we do have to rotate. We do have to rotate. We do have to make some changes. We should rest some players. We should be a little bit smart about the situation. So, Steph says Lindelof gamble was a masterstroke tonight. Well, yeah. I mean, I did say that he did need to do something about that back line. I did not want him to start with Shaw as center back, and even the midfield. I mean, Kobe, um, playing in that midfield. Like, I wanted Cass and I wanted Ugarte. He did that, and I think that was good. And he even switched around the back. Although, well, I feel like Lindelof didn't give me the best display. I think he did better than Shaw, in the center back position from when Shaw played in the last match. And it just worked. It worked out well. It worked out well, and everybody was good. So, um, we must stand united. We must stand united with victories. See what I did there? I did. No, but obviously we want to win. Nobody's saying not to win and not to play good, but we do have to rotate, and we should be able to still kind of perform. And we should still have a chance to win the match, even if we do rotate. And we don't want to we don't want to put ourselves in a position where, like, one of our main players that played tonight suffers an injury, because we had to play them against Brentford when we could just rotate. Um, So I think there's a way to do it. I think, just because you rotate, I don't think means that like we automatically lose the game. I think there's a way to rotate where it's a moderate rotation. And they should be able to go there and compete. Now, whether they win or not, it's up to them. And how they execute on the pitch. But I think with the players we have, and you know, I think we should be able to get something out of that. So um Steph says 89-90 season, we finished 13th, 48 points. We could match that. I know it doesn't matter, but pride is important. No, I mean, listen, but this is what I'm saying. Like, the players that are in the squad, like, yeah, it's Brentford. Like, they should be able to go out there and give a game. Like, they shouldn't be going there and getting smacked up. Also, not for nothing, but last time when we kind of rotated, like, when we played Wolves and we rotated, um, yeah, like we lost 1-0, but actually for the amount for that we rotated, the team actually still played quite good in terms of that. Like, it was a rotated team, and they still played the system decently well for a rotated team, which is important because I feel like in the past there was times where, um, specifically on the Ten Hag, I kind of felt like this was happening where I used to say like we had a good 11 players, but then once you started going deeper, it started getting messy. And then like I always felt like if we had to rotate or we were down because of injuries, it just wasn't the same. And like they wouldn't play the same. I feel like with Ruben, I feel like even when we change, like they still play the same. I don't know if they can execute as high, but I'm saying like they still play in the sort of a same matter, regardless of who's sort of on the pitch. You kind of see that in Amos and Fredrickson having good games and stuff like that. So, um, we have to expect and demand greatness. Yeah, but I mean the season's been shit. So like we should just we should kind of just hope for our team to win and you know somehow put in a good performance. I mean, um no, but I get what you mean, but at the same time we're not really in a position to kind of demand greatness because we're just not that level. We're just not that level. Like, you can't demand something that you're absolutely not going to get. For me, greatness is um not being where we are. So and we're not really going to change that. I still think there's a personnel issue in the team, and it shows in the Premier League. So we have some things to address before we really really get there. We got to take the next step first. I didn't finish the player ratings. Mateus Delit, I give him a 6. Diallo, give him a 6. Sure, I give all the sub 6s. Maino a 6. Mount, um, 6. Although maybe you can make an argument for him to get a little bit low because he was a little bit me, um, at times. But I give him a 6. And Amarim, I give him a 7. I give him a 7. Give him a 7. I'll give him a 7.5. I think he managed the game well. He set us up good. He made the changes that we needed to make. The substitutions were good as well. I think the subs were good timing. Um, I think the tactics were good, even managing the fact that, making the team go wide when we were up a man. I think all that stuff was good. I think he got pretty much everything went his way today, and I think everything that he had control of, I think he did what he was supposed to do. So, and he got a 3-0. Him and the players, they got a 3-0 away from home and put us in a very, very, very strong spot to be in the finals. So, obviously, man of the match is going to go to Casemiro because I think he was absolutely fantastic today, and he was just above the rest. So, Uncle Cass, man of the match, Uncle Cass, and yeah, Steph says, I really hope Martinez recovers from his injury. Me too. And gets back to his best. His distribution from the back is exactly what we have been missing. Future number 6, possibly. Well, I do agree that, one, I hope that, he does recover from his injury. It's a different injury than the other injury. So hopefully he just doesn't get, hopefully he just doesn't get another, a long-term injury of whatever it may be. Because it's not even like it's the same injury that he was injured prior before. It was different. But it's just been two long ones and two bad ones in 2 seasons. So it's not great. And obviously, it's kind of stunted him a little bit because he's actually missed quite a good amount of football that I think, would have helped him grow a little bit more in terms of his play. And then obviously just playing football, you'll be more consistent. But I do think he is, his distribution from the back is actually, he's good at it. He's quite good at it, and that's because he used to play. He used to not be a center back. That's why he's good at that. And I think it is actually important, especially when he's fit and on form. He's very, very good at it. He's very, very good at it. And it'll add a good dynamic, an extra dynamic, back there. Plus, I love his little butcher warrior mentality. He's small, but he's got that warrior mentality in him. And I like that too. So, Amorim United neutralized tricky hostile atmosphere very well. Yeah. And that's also a good thing as well. We were, there was a couple of times we were maybe a little bit sloppy or something like that. But there was times in the past where we would go into this sort of hostile atmosphere and we'd absolutely crumble, and get destroyed. And I think actually the team, as a whole, did well to stay composed. The fans were, the Bilbao fans were very angry and they were very hostile. They even threw some things at Onana. Towards the end, they were throwing some things towards Onana onto the pitch. So I think they did well, all of them, to keep their heads, keep their cools, and navigate it quite well. Which is good because there's been many kind of examples that have happened in the past where we've gone into that sort of big pressure. It's a semifinal away from home, sort of a hostile environment, and we completely capitulated and just shit ourselves in those matches. And again, we didn't do that today. So, Andero is here, says, "Hiya, every single player was at it tonight, whether it's Spurs or Bodo Glimt. Mark my words, we'll be winning this competition. We played with authority and class tonight. Casemiro, immense." And there you go. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. The positivity, some confidence in there. Andero, do you know that a bunch of our chat members, maybe 40 minutes ago, were saying that they're worried about Spurs, and they kept saying that if Spurs beat us, and if Spurs beat us. And I kept trying to tell them, we can't think like that. We got to say we're going to win it. We got to have the mentality. And I like it because Andero comes in here, boom, right off the bat, says, "Mark my words," and says, "We will be winning this competition." I love it. I love it. That is the United mentality. Whether it's our backs against the wall or down on the ground, we got to have confidence in our club. We got to support our club, even if they're not doing well. We got to support our club. We got to back our club. We got to have that fight. Never back down. Never give in. Never back down. We're never going to die. We will never stop. These are all terms that are associated with Manchester United. And rightfully so. Axe says, well, he's speaking another language now. I don't know. I can't say that. Steph says, Casemiro was brilliant. Yeah, Casemiro, Casahero, whatever you want to call him. Uncle Cass. I like that one. I've been calling him Uncle Casemiro. I like that one. That one's a good one to me. But, yeah, guys, we're going to get out of here. because it's been a good 2 hours. It was a lovely show, fantastic result. But I gotta go take care of some things, and we are gonna go live tomorrow. We're gonna stream live tomorrow. It's Friday, kind of Friday freestyle. We'll do a little bit of whatever news we get, and we'll just kind of talk about whatever, you know, the chat and the community wants to talk about. You know, Friday is supposed to be the day where you guys kind of lead. You know, you guys do the show. You guys decide what the show is going to be about and what we talk about. So we will be live tomorrow. Tomorrow it will be at 8 p.m. UK time, which is 3 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys are around or available, we'd obviously love to see you all there. Big shout out to everybody that got involved in the show. Big shout out to everybody that smashed the like button. Thank you guys very much. It's a big help to the channel. So everybody that's done that, thank you. Anybody that's new that subscribed, I got to get back my little notification. I used to have a notification that would pop up here, put your name on here and tell us you subscribed. But if you're new and you subscribed, thank you. We appreciate you joining. You know, the community and the family here at the RDE, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future. Yeah, it's pretty much it. Shout out to, you know, all the chat guys: Ray, Lyle, Rajat, Axe, Almo, Steph joined us as well later on. Muhammad was in here earlier. Box, Junaid was in here as well, and for a little bit, but we don't care how long or whatever. We can't forget Nemanja Vidic, Lions, of course. Nemanja Vidic was here as well. So it's all good. I mean, shout out Vidic and Ondero, of course, coming at the end and kind of ending it out. So yeah, guys, if you want and you can, again, Lyle's been doing it almost every show. If we could get more of you, get in the comments after I end it. So when I end it, go and comment underneath the show. Give us whatever comments you like, because that helps the channel as well. And YouTube wants that sort of thing as well. So if you guys can do that, the more of you, the better. I greatly appreciate it. If you can't, you know, it is what it is. I understand. You know, sometimes you got things to do or whatever, and you guys give enough support as well. So it's just a little bit extra that you know, I appreciate it. So yeah, that. And do I have anything else that I need to say? Ondero says we absolutely will be winning this. Get ready for the Champions League Reds. It's coming back. We have to get ready for what is about to come back to us. Get in there. I love it. I love the positivity. So X says, who the hell is Democrat, by the way? What does he know about? Did I have absolutely no clue who that guy is? We actually thought it was you for a second. For like 2 seconds. He came in the last time, and you know, he was saying some things, and we thought it was you trolling. We thought you were on a different account trolling. And I think Lions asked him if he knew Axel, and he said me and Axel have crossed paths or something like that. It was very cryptic about it. And then said something else, and then kind of just left the chat. So I don't know. I can't tell you, Axe. I don't know who. I don't know. I have no clue. I thought he was a friend of yours because he said you guys crossed paths. So I thought you guys knew each other. But if you don't know him, then I don't know. Maybe you have a fan, Axe. Maybe you have a fan. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know what's going on anymore. This is out of my hands and out of my control. You know, I can't do anything about it. Steph says 3K subs incoming. Spread the word. Yes, we will get there. I know we will. The channel's been growing steadily, but good. He told you we crossed paths and then left. That's what he said the last show. You didn't watch it because you left a comment on the show, and you know, you said that you couldn't handle the despair around Manchester United, and you said you couldn't bring yourself to watch the show. But if you watch the show, you can actually see the live. You can see the live chat back, so you can see what he was saying, and all that. So yeah, you know, you might want to watch that if you want. It's in there. The guy is trolling. Yeah, he's trolling. He told me, yeah, I told, yeah, he's trolling. Might be a Republican. Well, I think he might be because of what he says, even though his name is spelled Democrat. But yeah, he's clearly. I mean, he's a character. He hasn't said anything wrong. So, he's definitely a character, though. He's definitely a character. But I like it. It's a little bit funny. It's a little bit funny. Adds. Yeah, he comes in here talking about tariffs and stuff like that. He hasn't said anything bad, so to say. So it's fine. I prefer no politic talk though, but he's a bit of a character. He pops in, he pops out. And if he's throwing a like and he's supporting the channel a little bit, it is what it is. So uh, yeah, so we'll be live tomorrow. Remember, please, if you can, get in the comments. Lyle's been doing it every show and every chance. Andero says, don't be surprised the Spurs throw away the tie against Bodo Glimt. Honestly, they aren't a good side. Tottenham, especially away from home. Yeah, I mean, listen, it would be very Spursy of them to do so. So again, I think we're in a good position. We just have to go and just be a professional football team and just see the game out really. And we're gonna be at Old Trafford, so I think we should be good. Especially what we did last time at Old Trafford. You know, where we essentially we blew the lead, but then we got it back. And we played very good. So I don't think again, I don't think that will happen again. I don't think we'll blow the lead. In that manner. I think we're gonna go out there and do what we have to do. And then Spurs, you just never know. Also, Bodo Glimt, not gonna lie, again, they're not. I know they're not considered like top five clubs in the world historically or anything like that. But they've been performing quite strong, and they've had some good performances against some other teams that you might say you would think beat them because who is Bodo Glimt? But yeah, I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen. So Spursy will do what they do best. They knocked out Lazio, and this is what I'm saying. Like, I think everybody kind of was like, yeah, Lazio would beat Bodo Glimt, and they didn't do it. So um, I don't think they're a team to necessarily be taken sort of lightly. So but that's Spurs' problem. That's not our problem. Unless they beat Spurs and then we have to play them in the final, then it becomes our problem. So yeah, everybody be good. I will speak to you guys tomorrow. I'll announce the show again as a reminder. I'll put it on the YouTube community, and I'll also put a post about it in the Discord. And if you want to chat at any time, then you have to make sure to join the Discord, because that's where we'll be chatting after hours when we're not live. And you could also chat with everybody else in the community and not just myself. So thank you guys again. I look forward. I hope I see a bunch of you in the comments. Andero says it will also mean that we can play some of our youngsters in the remainder of the Premier League, and for the future, I can see Ruben do. Well, he did say that he might do a little bit of it. So, yeah, I mean, I think you could do a nice mix of it. Access demo was my enemy most probably. Yeah, I don't know what you got going on in your life, Axe. I have absolutely no clue what's going on. So, yeah, but big facts to and there. I have no clue what's going on with Axe. Axe has got a whole movie scene going on. There's people chasing after him. He's got enemies. I don't know what kind of life you live, Axe, but it's definitely doesn't seem like a boring one. That's for sure. I'm just having a bit of a laugh. But I'll see you guys later. Everybody have a good night. Be good, stay safe, and again, thank you for the support. Love you guys all. Appreciate each and every single one of you. And yeah, we'll speak tomorrow. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. UK time. Be there, or what did they say? Be square. I don't like that saying. Be there or don't be there. But be there. Cheers, guys. See you guys later. Be good. 10:03 UK time. Yeah.